Okay. Banana Climber's behind the scenes! So a bunch of stuff here in my notepad. You guys barely suggest anything. Like 90% of the things are the things I added. But yeah. So first I'm gonna do your suggestions. So the first suggestion from Capybara is, what does making updates look like? And it looks like this. So we have this. We have the entire map here. Every map is loaded. It just gets unloaded automatically when you start. As you can see, there's like every map right here. Start unload. It's a script I made. It's really simple. And yeah, this stuff looks like making update. So add what I need, and making scripts looks like this basically. It's basically, let's get all this. That's Geometry Dash. But yeah, that's basically how it's done. Second suggestion, no, thing that you want to see is, how does beta testing look like? So that's also for Capybara, and beta testing is basically just like an update. But basically, I send out the APK of the early access, then you downloaded it and install it, and it's basically just a Banana Climbers update. But it's not for everyone, it's just for moderators, so it's just like normal. Scrapped updates, also suggested from Capybara. This is not a thing that I really save or just memorize any things that I scrapped or anything. One thing I remember I scrapped was the moon. You could like fly to the moon and with like a little rocket that would be here instead of the tree, but yeah, it was bugged, it didn't work, so I removed it and it was never there. One thing that was almost scrapped was brought back later was AI for level 2. I tried to make it work in here as in the test map, but it just didn't work. So I just made an animation where he moved around, and but then I found out how to actually make AI, and then it worked. That's basically all the scrapped updates I remember. Or actually, a scrapped update is actually audio for custom maps because I cannot figure out how to make that work. I think code I suggested is how the player ID finder works. Basically, the thing for moderators. So for moderators, they have like a computer where they can enter a name and then they receive the ID. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. So see right here, there's a computer right here. And then they enter a name, and then they receive the ID right here. So how it works, especially this computer is like the computer prefab you see in tutorials, but it's modified a little. So instead of being just a normal string, it's a list of multiple things. So there's name, an ID, and all that stuff. So and then it sends it to the leaderboard. But instead of sending it as a list, it just sends like multiple rows basically instead of a list. And this one just shows the first row, which is the name. Now how this keyboard does it is it goes through the leaderboard one by one until it finds the player name that you have inputted here, or until the leaderboard until it goes to 21, which is not here. If it receives 21, it will just say, "Oh no, I couldn't find player." But if you enter a name that it actually finds, then it will find this one. So for example, this is free because 0, 1, 2 feed. That's just how programming works. And then goes in here, and then just gets the second row, pastes it in here, and yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, it has nothing to do with PlayFab. It doesn't use anything with PlayFab to find the ID. It's just the player sends it as in a list. Chair. Wow, thank you, Arctic. You're so useful. Whoa, can you even call this a chair? I don't even know. This is more like a stool. No, I don't know what stool and chair is. We have this, which is more of a throne, and this is more like a sofa or couch. So yeah, there's basically no chairs in Banana Climber. We have a ladder. Things I suggested. how the custom map loader works. So how it basically loads the maps. So how it works is basically it goes to this persistent data path, which on your Oculus it will be this directory. I will show, and then there will be a custom maps directory where there's all of your maps in here. And then in here, this map, there will be a map.json. In this map.json, it looks something like this. You have the owner data, which just tells you things about the owner, allow other stuff like that. Start play data, which is basically where you start. Date modified, should be a map name, but it's just not there. Now objects, this is basically where all the objects are. What? So it's basically just a list of another one of these JSONs. Where's a bunch of stuff, so it's type XYZ, scale X, scale Y, scale Z, director, writer C, texture, name, and has colliders. A bunch of stuff. So now what a loader goes is it reads everything. It's a type of cube, then we'll spawn a cube, and it puts it in the position, scales it, and it changes the rotation, applies the texture, renames it, and enables or disables the colliders based on if this is true or false. And it does that for every single object. So yeah, that's basically how the map loader works. I don't want to show the script because I made it myself and I'm proud of it and I don't want people stealing it. How the game looks like as a developer. Now I don't really have a bunch of like things, but I can show you actually if there's actually people playing the game. It's a little bit different, but not as different as you might think. Like all lines pointing for you to the player with a bunch of text and stuff and scary. And no, it's not like that. It's actually a lot simpler. If this fucking shit would look finally. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. It's one other guy. As you can see, it's just this. And you can see it through walls. It's epic. But because I'm in PC, it kind of bugs like that. And which is say it was also the bounce of the array and shit. But yeah, so this basically just goes to every player along with their ID, and I can see that thing through walls. And I also have a menu. It's basically just a keyboard with a bunch of kick buttons. That's how it looks like as a developer. That's all you get. The stuff the player just doesn't see. And before you start the game, during the loading screen, the game looks like this. Yeah, I already showed you this, but yeah, it just disappears. This when you the second you load this that's just unloaded at the start. This is basically where I just test the stuff as a moderator. So with the back button, so you can go back. This is where I tested the darkness. This is where I tested sandbox. And down here is where I tried to test the AI, but it didn't work, and I was just stupid. Okay, so if the player just doesn't see, it goes on for a little bit after this end area. Some people do see this, but yeah. There's no level 3 yet, by the way. It just doesn't exist. This monster flies, but when you get here, he kind of falls down due to gravitational pull, and then he tries to walk here, gets stuck on this thing, and yeah. Stuff you might not see is this. The blue stuff is basically just where the monster can go. See, he cannot go past here. So just goes on this blue area. And he can also go past a little bit here. Stuff to play doesn't see is this is the basement. You can almost never get here because the kid stealers like almost always bugged. Yeah, if you get catch up in the kid stealer, this is what you'll see, except this, the light is just disabled at the start, and you have to click this to enable it, and yeah. This is a scene you never get to. This is the thing that comes with the Gorilla Locomotion, it's just this is all it is. Yeah, map editor, nothing to see here, you can see literally everything. This, oh, if you haven't played the game before there was like the ID bug, then if you join the game, you will see this. Yeah. Oh no! Sandbox. Nothing to see here. I guess the wall goes down a little bit farther than you expected to. Shutdown. When the servers are shut down, I often just delete it and just delete servers and just don't care that much. Yeah, this is what you see. Wow! User settings. Nothing to see here. Another thing you may expect is this is the backrooms. You may have seen it in other people's videos, or just have a moderator just kick you with the backroom summary you end up here. And the reason there is multiplayer in here and not in other scenes is because you don't actually switch scene, you teleport far away. So if I look over here and go up, the map is just right there. There's a pretty long distance between the back rooms and that one. But if you get moderator, get platforms, you can just run all the way to the back rooms. That's a pretty long run because it's kind of far away. Also, fun fact: everything looks so much smaller when making the game than actually playing the game. I don't know if it's just me. How the staff system works. PlayFab. It's super easy. How the trusted user system works is basically a script, and here the time it just goes down every second and just saves it to a little file, and it sets that, and when it's 0, it will enable a trigger that can disable this and just you allow down. Yeah, easy. Just random stuff. What random stuff are we talking about? This is how the fan art room looks like from the outside. The snacks platform goes out a little bit. Right here. There's some questions I asked myself. This is just some random ass questions that nothing to do with behind the scenes. So these are like questions like I asked myself. So when I say like you, I mean me, basically. Why did you start making games? So yeah, the reason I started making games was because I was bored. What's the hardest parts of programming I should make in this game? So programming is basically just the hardest part is when I hit the point where I do not know how like to fix a bug or just do anything in like the programming thing. So yeah, I just have to troubleshoot a lot, hope that I don't get any errors and stuff like that. So yeah, making the game is basically just when I get burnt out. That's just a really painful thing when I really want to work on the game, but I literally just can't because my brain goes like, "Fuck you." What other games have you made? So basically, the other games I made are Chimpanzee Runners. It's not in the MetaQuest store right now because, well, Meta's like, "Fuck you," and yeah, there was a bug where you couldn't play. And the one is Monkey Bonkers. It was alive for a really long time. Some of the OGs may remember that, but it died. Yeah, someone hacked it. And the other ones like Apple Eaters, where Oculus are like, "Fuck you! Why is it not above 60 FPS?" And because of that, the game died. And a bunch of stuff. Why are updates slowing down? Basically, I'm being burnt out of making the game. Basically, people are just hacking the game a lot. I'm being burnt out a lot. They just not wanting to make the game. But I promise in the future, in like a few weeks or so, or maybe even a few days, the updates will start to speed up and stuff like that. Yeah, this is not about the games and stuff, but why do you almost never respond to people's messages in DMs on Discord? This is because on Discord, since I don't want my DMs list to be filled with random kids, I enable this thing called message requests where if people haven't like messaged me yet, it will just dump it in a message request list, and I can ignore it, accept the DM, and answer and stuff like that. And that's basically why I just never respond, because I never go on that list. How did the first release version of Banana Climbers look like? So basically, I don't feel like going on that version right now because my head is absolutely kaput. But how it looked like was because no was like there was only like a banana gun and donut. I think no, it was just a banana gun in here. This guy didn't have a name. I don't think there were snacks either. The mirrors were fine. I think there was only one server, or probably two. No fan art room, no museum, no rising lava, no slide, no zero gravity, and no horror mode, and no this pool just wasn't here. And all the texture kind of look shiny. I could show like on the dirt how it looked. It's really easy to replicate. Go into materials. Go into the materials. Dirt cool. Smoothness was 0.5. It's really hard to show. Maybe on the stone. You can kind of see how it's like it's kind of more reflective. So this is how it looked like, and this is how it looks like now. Before it was so much more reflective. Yeah, the rules were over there. There was no punishment board, no logs, no user settings, no art I made in school, no Discord server. Third person was there, no trusted user, no custom maps, no early access sandbox, no banana fountain, no spinning banana, no banana slide, no pumpkins. It was basically nothing. How does your desk look like? Why did I add that? Yeah, it's kind of a fucking mess. But yeah, I'll show you. I'll take a picture and show on the editing thing. Try not to show my feet. Okay, I took a picture. I'll show it in the editing later. Let's go. And then finally, the question that I'm most scared of answering. What would you do if Banana Climbers died out? Because like no updates, people get bored of it and stuff. I do not know actually. This game is actually so much fun to make, and if it just died out and no one played it, even though I added make like a lot of updates, I would try to revive it. But if I literally could not revive it, no matter what I did, or I just lost the files, then either I just gave up on making games entirely because this game is so much fun to make, or I make a new game. Those are the two options I make or take. But yeah, this is like a question that I like barely want to answer because this game is like my entire life right now. And if it died out, I would be sad. If no one just play it or I just lost the files, that would be very sadness. But yeah, now I've done all of this entire list. So yeah.